Good morning, Reverend Father President, esteemed Principal, Board of Regents, distinguished members of the administration and faculty, parents, friends, and of course, my fellow remarkable members of Loyola High School's graduating class of 2013. I am honored today to stand before you as we are gathered together for perhaps the last time as a class, certainly the last time in matching blue robes. And these robes symbolize an amazing achievement. Brothers, we have successfully completed 4 years of diligent study and holistic growth up to the rigorous standards of Loyola High School and the Jesuit Order. That alone is a truly remarkable achievement, and I congratulate all of you. Let's give ourselves a well-deserved round of applause. So much of who we are now has been shaped by this school, and Loyola is truly an amazing place. You can tell just by how far people travel to come here every day. Members of our community extend as far south as Palos Verdes, Long Beach, and Newport, and as far north as the hilly wilds from wherever Mr. Mason hails. We extend to the Pacific Ocean in the west, and so far inland that the roar of the sea is but a distant memory, and an oar can be mistaken for a winnowing fan. Indeed, Loyola High School is a strong and indelible presence in Los Angeles and Southern California. Yet what is it that makes Loyola so wonderful, turning out hundreds of bright and mature young men every year, and possessing them to drive so far just to get to school? There are many things that make Loyola great: our teachers and our classmates, our beautiful campus and our high standards across the board. But perhaps the most important factor of Loyola's greatness is the legacy of St. Ignatius and the challenge of the prayer for generosity he has left us. Now, Chris kind of beat me to the puck on this one, but everyone here is familiar at this point with St. Ignatius's prayer for generosity. We recite it every Friday, we reflect on its meaning all the time, and we try to pattern our lives after it. But I think in constant repetition, it can be easy to forget what St. Ignatius's goals are and how much effort they require to achieve. So let's think on this prayer just one more time as a class. After all, you can never have too much prayer. Lord, teach me to be generous. Teach me to serve you as you deserve, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wounds, to toil and not to seek for rest, to labor and not to ask for reward, save that of knowing that I do your will. Amen. Being generous is deceptively difficult, and no one's generous all the time. It's always easier to ignore the needy, to be too busy to help a friend out, to hoard one's delicious quesadilla away from the descending swarm of hungry high schoolers. But Loyola men have learned how to give freely of themselves. Over the last 4 years, our class has performed well over 40,000 hours of community service in our service projects alone, and many of us have done significantly more above and beyond that. Loyola also has a thriving internal network of peer tutoring and mentoring, not to mention the countless hours off the books of friends helping each other out with difficult assignments or new ideas. A brave cub is even occasionally sighted offering a french fry to a peckish friend, and we all know how dangerous it is when the sharks smell the blood of free food in the water. For this distinguished group of cubs, generosity has become almost second nature. Furthermore, there is a higher nobility in being generous for the right reasons. It is easy to get caught up in generosity merely to fulfill a requirement or to look better to others. Humans enjoy being praised for the things they do, especially us men, as I'm sure any female in the audience could vouch. But St. Ignatius reminds us with every line of that prayer that we need to give without counting the cost and without asking for rewards. God sees all the good things that we do, so who cares if we get congratulated for it? We need to do right because we owe it to God and to our brothers and sisters in humanity. Now, such righteous motivation is hard for us now. It was hard for St. Ignatius, and it'll be even harder as we go out into the world next year and leave the constant weekly reminder of this prayer. But I have confidence in my fellow cubs, and I challenge all of us to give freely of ourselves without rest or reward, becoming a living reminder to both ourselves and others of God's loving grace. However, our generosity to the world does not have to be manifest only in forms of formalized acts of service to others. We are a community of truly amazing individuals with truly amazing talents and interests, which can be our boon to the world. We have inspirational athletes of the highest caliber in countless sports, taking home regional, state, and national titles, and exemplifying the highest ideals of sportsmanship and teamwork. We have numerous visionary artists working in various visual and physical media, in instruments of all sorts, and in film and revolutionary digital expressions of light and sound. We have open-minded representatives from a truly global list of different cultures, all eager to teach and to learn about our differences to better understand our similarities. And we even have Cubs so passionate they elect to spend their lunch periods writing poems or articles for the yearbook or newspaper, or exploring mathematical theorems or scientific concepts, or immersing themselves in foreign languages or foreign cultures. And here I'd like to quickly shout out to my comrades in classicism. Nonne risosum est hos barbaros non intellegere? Nonne? Yes, by being ourselves and letting our passions shine through, we can enrich our surroundings and show our peers what it truly means to be a man for others with every facet of our being. As we go out into the world, we will know when to be great leaders and when to be humble followers. We will know how to improve ourselves and how to channel that energy to improve others. We will meet interesting people along the way, and we will be those interesting people who are met. We will go ever higher in New York. We will strive to be rather than to seem in North Carolina. We will do nothing without God's will in Colorado. And in California, we will proclaim, I have found it. We are sent forth to be God's presence on college campuses all across the United States, and in Canada and Scotland too. Watch out, world. The Cubs are on the loose. Thank you.